Welcome back to part 3 of our interview with April Bernal Cleek, where she gives us 3 tips to running a business as a single mother, in addition to telling us about her latest venture. Keep it right here. Part 3 is coming up next.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy. I don't know to what extent you can talk about it, but I know that you have a new venture coming up, and some very influential people have been reaching out saying, hey, what do you need?
Yeah. You know, it's just amazing. Exactly. And I didn't realize it until we were talking about it. So Italy was absolute insanity. It was 5 weeks, 25 of us. Richard Branson did the whole thing. Holly and Sam, his son and daughter, did the whole thing. I did the whole thing, and a few others. And we hiked for 5 days. We rode our bikes from the top of Italy to the bottom of Italy, swam the Straits of Messina, and then mountain biked over to Mount Etna and summited Mount Etna by foot. Wow. Well, a year later, 25 of us got invited. Mine was one of them that got invited to come to Morocco. And this time it was only a week versus the 5 weeks, the full month. And I went to Morocco this past year, and there's 5 girls. And so Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, was there. Susie Ma, she's the founder of Tropic. She's a direct sales company in the UK. Christy Petrillo is all things real estate, myself, and then Sarah Blakely's best friend, Dika. So 5 girls, 20 guys. We did a crazy venture in Morocco. But from that, I've decided to birth an apparel line that's direct sales. Susie owns a direct sales company. Obviously, Sarah is in the apparel line. And I had this vision in my spirit for a long time because I just went through one of the darkest seasons of my life, going through, unfortunately, a really tough divorce. And I created an I am incantation statement. So I said, what if I created an apparel line that had I am statements, but that created a mission to change lives? And so Susie introduced me to some network people to help me get this started. And as I began sharing it with Sarah, Sarah said, listen, if you need my help or I can be a part of it, then, I want to be. So
let me make sure I get this correct. Sarah Blakely, the youngest female billionaire, you're hiking around Morocco. You got to say, I got this idea. I'm going to do this apparel company. We're going to help people change lives. And she's like, I want to help you. What?
Well, I didn't share with her in Morocco my idea.
Oh, okay.
Because again, I didn't know that I was going to do this. I actually didn't know I was going to launch this until I started talking to Susie about the direct sales model.
So when did Sarah say that she wants it?
Yep. So I texted her. So of course we struck up a friendship. It's us 5 girls surviving in Morocco. Yeah. And I just began asking her manufacturing questions and ideas. And she says, well, what are you doing? And I shared a little bit, and she said, let's talk. I've always been interested in the direct sales model. And so we began talking, and she was like, listen, April, if I can help you in any way, whether it's from a funding investor or we do this together, we have synergy or planning, then please let me know. So again, we're in the very infancy of it. But yes, I mean, it's just doors kind of open, and we're entertaining it, and we haven't finalized anything, but it's neat the way life happens. And
so basically at this point, when Oprah comes and says, hey, I want in, you're like, look, Oprah, you're a little late to the party. You're a little late. If you were here a couple months ago, I might have some room for you, but right now, nope, you're out.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's really exciting.
That is very cool. So, one of the things I get asked all the time from our female listeners is, Thor, you always have the guys on, get some more women, successful women on the show. So yes. I don't want to hear any more complaining, at least for a week. All right. I don't know how we get better than April here. But tell us some of the advice that you have for single moms, moms with 4 young kids, even if they do have some help at home. You know, you're trying to run a business, run a family. How do you do it all? What's some of your advice?
Yeah. Thank you for asking.
And getting Sarah Blakely and Richard Branson as, close dear friends.
Yeah. And if you guys don't follow Simon Sinek was on a Morocco trip too.
Oh, it's somebody else too, huh?
He's so great.
I really liked you up to this point. Now you got too many cool friends. You need to have him on your
podcast. No, I'll get him on your podcast.
Oh, see, now, really? See, thank you.
You're welcome.
Everybody heard that. She's going to get Simon on my podcast. I love it.
I will. He is just inspirational in and of himself.
Awesome. Can we argue on the podcast too?
Will he?
No, can we?
Who? Me and you, or you and Simon?
Simon and I.
Sure.
All right,
Simon,
good.
He's a great time.
All right, good. He's a great speaker and great content. All right, go ahead.
So to the women, and it's to men and women. But yes, I mean, I am a now single mom. My babies are 5, 4, and 2. And I do have each are concepts, my successful business. I have a book coming out, and I'm starting a new company. And I do get that all the time, like, oh, how do you do it? Blah, 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 blah. And I don't understand. Like, I just am trying to survive, and I only have 2 kids, and I'm working 9 to 5. And for me, the greatest advice that I can give anybody is create an incredible support team around you. And that doesn't mean that you have to pay them, but who is helping you, who is supporting you, who is cheering you on. So both, mentally, physically, emotionally, and even financially, I think you have to have a support team, because it is not me who does it all. It's my mom. It's my sister. It is my nannies. It's my friends. My support team is unbelievable. But I try to give also to those relationships. It's not just all about me. So set up an incredible support team. Try to deal with guilt the best that you can, and don't let it kill you, because moms have mom guilt. They feel like if they travel or leave their kids, it's mom guilt. If they work too late, it's mom guilt. If they, whatever it is, I don't know if men struggle with that, but the mom guilt is real.
Men struggle with it a little bit, but definitely less than women.
Yes. Yeah. And so it's really creating the mantra of overcoming. Actually, Sarah Blakely taught me in Morocco, what is your talk tape? What are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself that you're not a good mom? Are you telling yourself that, you're stressed? Are you telling yourself that are so busy you've made yourself sick? Are you telling yourself you're an insomniac? Like, what is it that you're speaking over yourself? And because that is the reality. Or are you speaking to yourself, I'm an incredible mother. My children are blessed. They are going to be successful. My children are happy. My children will have an incredible future. My company will have an incredible future. I will change lives. I will work hard. I will play hard. I will be present. I will live in a grateful place. So, and it's overcoming not the, oh, I've worked so hard, or I just went away, or I just, no, it's what is it that you believe, and then be in that moment of believing. So dealing with your guilt, improving your talk tape, what you're speaking over yourself, build yourself a support team, and then make a checklist and check those things off during the day. I've talked to so many girls specifically, and they're like, oh, well, there's just so much I want to do, but I don't ever get to it. I don't understand why. Clearly it wasn't on your checklist and you didn't make it a priority. Because if it was on your checklist that day, you don't go to sleep until it's checked. And that's how you get stuff done. Check it. Guess what? Then tomorrow, create a new list and check it off. And so it's like one bite at a time, one bite. But if you're not even taking bites and you're just staring at it, then you're just going to continue to stare at it. So a support team, talk tape, dealing with guilt, one bite at a time, create those checklists. And there's nothing holding us back except ourselves. Nothing. And you can't use being a mom as an excuse, being a wife, nothing. And I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I'm not buying what you're selling. Sorry. I'm a single mom, 4 kids, and it's called, come on, people. Let's go.
Yeah. You can use it as an excuse, but don't expect the results.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
It is. It is. What is it that you believe? What is it that you believe? I was, Thor, I struggled financially. I was consulting. So I consulted right after 2004. I had a salary. By 2006, I went basically on the consulting journey. So you're sometimes making a ton of money and then you're sometimes without money. And I was the only breadwinner, and I would be working, and then nothing. And we would have almost no money, and I didn't have work coming in, and the stress and money used to mess me up in my mind because it was so driven by fear. And it was, what did I believe? I believed that we weren't going to have enough. I believed that I had to save every penny. I believed that I had to not ever have debt. I believed that credit cards are bad. And I had no financial IQ, to be honest. And then I had this fear that was constantly running my life. So I called this the feast or famine mode. I was either feasting or in famine. And I remember sitting in church one day and the giving plates coming around, and I start just crying because I didn't feel like I had anything else to give. And we only had a couple $100s in the bank, and I decided to give it. And we remember shaking and crying, but I knew if I didn't choose to believe differently, the fear of money and finances was always going to control me. So it was that was my way of saying, no more. I'm not going to believe that I'm not going to have. I'm not going to believe that money is going to dictate everything in my life. And what I've learned in that moment is that whether I had $1 in my account or $1 million in my account, nothing in April changed. It all had to do with my mind and what I believed. And I believed I wasn't going to have, and I struggled. When I believed that I would have abundantly more than I could ever ask or imagine, then all of a sudden I could walk in that fruit and that fullness of what I believed. And then joy and peace and happiness started kind of existing, and I've never looked back, and I've never lacked since that day, ever.
Yeah, most people think that it's do, have, be. It's really be, do, have. First, you've got
I love that.
Yeah, you got to believe first. You got to be
Yes.
what it is. I'm training for an Ironman coming up in November. Oh, and by the way, I can't make the race in May because I have that half Ironman.
I'm only doing a mini try. I'm not even doing Ironman.
No, it's great. Look, I wish I could attend that. That's going to be a great weekend. But here's the thing. I went out today, actually, and I bought a shirt. I bought an Ironman shirt. Not because I'm an Ironman yet in, per the records, but my mindset is that I'm already there. And as I'm training, I want my mind and my body to know that I already am. Now I just got to go through the paces of training and actually running the race.
Yes. That's awesome. Yeah. I love it. That's it. I mean, that's it. Podcast is over.
All right. You are absolutely awesome. Thank you very much. And by the way, I wanted to point this out. Barack Obama Lifetime Achievement Award recipient 2017. Yeah. Written up in the Wall Street Journal numerous times. Inc. magazine. Great Place to Work certified. Best of Biz 2015. I mean, where does it stop?
Aww. I mean,
go ahead, suck it in, bring it in, say thank you.
I'm just so thankful. I genuinely am. It's my team. My team is amazing. My team is unbelievable. My mom was my first hire, and she's been the backbone of my company. I mean, my family works for me. My friends have worked for me. Strangers have worked for me. It's them. I mean, I really can't take the credit. And, and my faith is important to me. God is important to me. I thank him every day. So, I mean, who knew? I did not say, when I grow up, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I didn't. And I'm so thankful that I've had this opportunity, because the best part about my life is giving people jobs. I love giving people jobs. And I love figuring out, I love problem solving. I love creating. I love meeting people like you and having friends like you. So, I mean, yes, awards are great. It's not about me. I really am so grateful.
Well, we were talking over the weekend. If it's to be, it's up to we.
I know, I love that. Because you said it's not me, it's we.
Yeah. And it's something that I struggle with. I got to tell you, I struggle with. But here's what I realized. The best teams, the most successful teams, it's never about me. They've all figured out how to make it about we.
Yes.
And I think as entrepreneurs, we get stuck in that mindset so often that, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done right. It's not going to get done on time. It's just, and we get stuck in that. And then what ends up happening is we end up creating jobs for ourselves.
Yes.
And there's not the ability to create an organization, and certainly not an organization like yours. So congratulations on everything. And we look forward to having you back on the show, and much success to about the new venture that you have started, with Richard and Sarah on your team. I don't have any idea how it could be successful, but I'm sure you'll overcome those hurdles.
Well, I don't think Richard's going to be a part of it, but he'll be one of my cheerleaders.
Well, first
he'll
of
be
all,
one of my cheerleaders. But
let me just ask you one question. I'm going to call it. Does Richard even know about it? No.
He might.
He doesn't know about it. Have you called him and told you what? Have you called him and told him what you're doing?
I told Holly. I was with Holly last week in London.
All right. And so it's been 1 week and he hasn't heard about it yet. As soon as he hears about it, he's going to want in.
We'll see.
We'll. You know what? Now we have a record. Thor said when Richard hears about it, he's going to want in too.
Okay, we will see.
All right, but you got to tell him about it.
What is it? What is the date? January.
That's right, the January 30th. Yeah, you got to at least tell him about it. I mean, you can't read it in the Wall Street Journal. Oh, April started this new company. She didn't tell me about it. He might be mad at you,
I'm excited about this new company. It is called Illuminative, and what I like about the direct sales model is that we're going to start just domestically, but then go internationally within a year, but that anybody in the world can have a job. And that is what gets me really excited about this company.
And the message.
And the message. Exactly. It's going to be really life-changing.
We got to have you back on when you get that thing launched.
Thanks. It actually will be next year. So we'll do about, January 2019.
Terrific. Well, thank you. Oh, I know people are going to want to reach out to you and pick your brain. How do they get in touch with you?
Sure. Everybody has a Facebook. My Facebook is just find me at April Bernal Cleek, and you can send me messages that way. Of course, I'm on LinkedIn, April Bernal Cleek. You can send me an email if you want, April at, my company is ehrconcepts.com. Instagram, I think, is April Bernal Cleek. Just Google April Bernal Cleek, you'll find me.
And were you one of the people dancing on the bar this weekend?
Thor, now.
That was an open-ended question. I didn't say you were one of them. I just saw that there were some people dancing on the bar.
I may have started it. I plead the fifth.
There you go. All right. Well, fortunately, there are no videos attached to this podcast. So
what did I work hard, play hard, something like that.
That's right. Form confidential. All right.
Work hard, play harder. So fun. I've had such a good time. I so appreciate your friendship and your inspiration. I could listen to you all day long. I'll just sit and listen to you, learn from you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you as well. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
And we look forward to having you back on.
Thank you, Thor.
Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.